Thank you, Queen of Sheba. We appreciate
Queen
you.
of Sheba.
No doubt.
Run that money, Queen. Appreciate you.
No, thank you, Queen. Thank you, Lateef.
Thank you, Lateef. Appreciate you. Run them dollars.
Oh, Kamak, please.
That's how Kamal says thank you. Give us more.
That's how Umar does it. He has to do this he has to do this all the time. Just like bam.
Yo, he was another one. I mean, the lunch I had the other day, the impromptu discussion I had, all the superstars were brought up. Umar, and he was another one.
Is that what? The crypto?
That got brought up in this conversation about how black business is the solution and how my argument is wrong and this, that, and the third. And she said, she mentioned Umar. She was like, she quoted him, and I kind of, was like, did a little thing like that. She was like, well, you don't agree with, and I was like, not on everything. And she was like, but he built the school. And I was like, you need to look again. I think you need to look again.
What?
I'll be very real with you, to be like, I like these folks. I had a really good time, like shout out to the bartender, to the folks working, but what I really wanted to say is I feel like you've done as much research into Umar as you did into your crypto investments. And that's what I think is part of the problem.
Even less.
See, I have a question here, Jared. Are these people that you were having this discussion with, are they from Howard County, or did they?
No, they're from Baltimore. They were all from Baltimore. So we were at, and what was interesting, we were at the local busboys and poets out here, which is part of the story. Actually, like the whole story is actually kind of funny because she also thought that she was supporting a black-owned business by being at Busboys and Poets. So I had to, avail of, her of some of this history that I know about, Brother Shalal.
Big up Andy Shalal out here running these businesses.
And I said, this is part of my point.
Coffee with cops.
Coffee with cops.
Yes, he does have coffee with cops at his busboys locations. Have they had
that?
I can see Howard County fucking lazy ass cops posted up in the fucking busboys right there at the mall.
I haven't seen them there yet, but I've been over there a couple times because it's part of the new gentrifying downtown Columbia, Maryland.
That sounds like an oxymoron within itself.
Yeah, I know.
How can you gentrify Columbia? Make it make sense, Jared.
Because again, as I keep trying to share with you, there are pockets of poverty here. That's what I'm saying. It's a microcosm of the greater world. So they just keep moving folks, expanding rich whiteness. I mean, it's the perfect microcosm. So we're sitting in there, and so that's what I'm saying though. Like the symbolic blackness is confusing. Like you go in there and it's got all these black luminaries. It's got all that's named after black this, black that. It's mostly worked by black folks. It's like everything's black. And then she's like, and I'm like, but it's not. And I was like, that's how all the messaging that got you to invest in crypto and thinking that business is a solution. That's how they do it. Wow. And literally with that Kendrick Lamar commercial, oh my God, it's so perfect. Where he's literally translating for the brother in the hood what this white businessman is wanting him to do financially. It is exactly.
He's black explaining.
I haven't seen it. What's the commercial for?
You never saw we played it. You never saw the Kendrick Lamar one?
No.
We have to dig that back up. We have to dig that back up.
We should dig that back. What is
promoting
this,
what?
Crypto. Was it crypto.com or was
I thought it was promoting?
I thought it may be CashApp. It's one of the it was
some investment tool, something around basically don't be ignorant and hold on to your money. Invest it with this white man. White people have always done us good.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So invest your money here, and then it'll grow and grow and grow. And he does the white guy gives them all this explanation around, interest rates and profit and
but the setup though, it's so perfect because it starts with a close-up of this brother. So all you see is this one brother. He's like, you know what I mean, and this, that, and I was rolling dice and I had my investment and I was going to start a barber shop, but I lost it on this dice roll and and then it pans out a little bit. You see that he's talking to Kendrick, and then you see Kendrick listening, and then Kendrick listens, and then you see it focuses on Kendrick, and then Kendrick starts to distill what he's just been told in a very white and black splaining for the white man or whatever. And you start hearing him say, oh, so what so-and-so is saying is that he had his investment ready, but then he was going to start a business, but he made a bad dice roll and lost his money. And then it pans back and you see that Kendrick is talking to a white man in his little business outfit. And the white man starts saying, oh, so what he should have done is, and then it closes back in on Kendrick, and he takes that and turns that into hood speak for the brother. So my man, what you needed to, and then it comes back to the brother that we started with, and he's like, oh, I see what I see. And it's, I mean, it's the perfect.
All about making us turn our money over. That, I mean, whatever little money. I shouldn't say, look, and I mean, obviously it's reached extremes, but it's like this has been history. It's like whatever little. This is like, it's almost like sharecropping, right? It's like whatever little you got, just give it back. You don't, like, you know, I got you. I'm looking out for your best interest.
Can I just, since we've taken
oh, where them dollars at?
Nigga, where them
dollars at?
Oh my God.
And that's why I just did that video about Ludacris being ludicrous with his economic analysis. It's the same thing. Buying all black. I'm buying all black. They love it when I walk like and all that. And I'm like,
hold on. Gangsta Boo just had the best financial advice right there. The best question. Where them dollars at, nigga? Where them dollars at?
Can I just share with you all
this lady named Boo? Yes.
I'm still in this dive for my buying power thing, and I'm back with the Abram Harris book, right? And he does this whole thing where he talks about over the last 100 years, he shows all the slogans going from better Negro business to don't buy where you can't work, all the way as I'm arguing down to, you know, hashtag bank black and buy black. And it's all, and the way he literally concludes the book is that he says, the real forces, he's talking about poor black people, the real forces behind their disabilities and comfort are masked by race, which prevents them from seeing that what the Negro businessman wants most of all is freedom to monopolize and exploit the market they provide. They cannot see that they have no greater exploiter than the black capitalist who lives among low wage, if not sweated labor, although he and his family may and often do live in conspicuous luxury.
What did Chairman Fred Hampton say? What did he say? What did he say? Show me
newspaper.
Show me a capitalist and I'll show you a bloodsucker. He didn't say which color. Oh my God.
I thought that was hard. I thought that was hard for 1938. Sorry.
That's
the
hard
whole
for 2022.
Kendrick Lamar commercial. I'm still, because I have not
crazy.
seen it.
No, you got to find it. Somebody has to find it. I need to see this.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it right now.
And just the stereotypes. You know, you got somebody who has enough money to open a barber shop, but he's gonna lose it on a dice game.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got it right here. It's crazy. I will show it. Yeah, and it's very effective in the classroom, by the way. Here we go.
Man, bro, so let me tell you what had went down. And I was 2 bands away from getting bro a whole barbershop, bro. Yeah. Oh my mama, bro. Peanut gonna call my phone talking about I just got paid. I looked at the phone. I just got paid. What? Man, where the dice at? I'm ready to shoot. We can roll. Last time I shot with him, 1,300 in my pocket. Easy.
Off top.
Easy.
So what happened?
What happened? Man, Peanut is what happened. Had me hot on my mama, hot. 7, 7, 7, 7. Back to back. Bro, I was mad. He was all in my bag, in my pockets, and my whole Duffy. I was ready to get out.
Basically what he is saying, he saved up his money to get a local barbershop. He then made a friendly business wager with Peanut in hopes to secure more money for his business, but eventually losing it all with one roll of the dice. Ray, what you think?
I think volatility is his problem, and I don't think he understands how to compound his talent and how to compound his money. What I mean is, if you just take big bets like that, you'll blow it all. You should invest in yourself, man, and then you learn more, and then when you learn more, you also make more money, and it compounds. You could have 2 barbershops, you could have 10 businesses if you know how to compound.
Basically, bro, what he's saying is slow money wins the race. You can still have a big upside even if you don't throw all your chips in the bag. Invest in yourself. Leave them dice alone. You don't need to invest in the dice. That's gonna ruin everything. Spread your money out. Let it build for yourself and work gradually, slowly. Anybody that's ever made a lot of money didn't make it fast. You feel me?
Feel you.
Off top. PG Lane.
Except off black people.
Oh, this is even better. My memory is it did my own argument disservice. Look at him standing on a ledge. The shadow of the brother is literally on a ledge about to fall
I didn't get who they
off.
were
Listen
selling.
to that bullshit.
What was the product?
Cash App.
Cash App.
Cash App. Sorry about that.
Because on Cash App, on Cash App, they push crypto.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So that's part. Cash App makes its money. Not only those little bit of nickels and dimes they get from you when you make the transfer, but they push you hard to invest in some crypto.
Yep. But
okay.
Go ahead, Jackie.
So, and I have to correct myself. I think it was Malcolm X who said, "Show me a capitalist, and I'll show you a bloodsucker."
That was Malcolm.
Chairman Fred Hampton said, "We're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism. We're going to fight it with socialism." So that is the answer. But this is like, I think it perpetuates this myth of how rich white people make their money. Right? Like this idea that this white dude is sitting here saying, well, anybody who has made their money hasn't done it by, making these, volatile decisions, blah, blah, blah. No, rich white people who make their money were born into it. That's how they made their money. Most of them, with the exceptions of, these new crypto millionaires, but even them, they had to have the resources to create their digital currencies. And we're not talking about, your typical laptop that you can buy from Best Buy. They had to have a serious kind of mining a laptop. I mean, so there's this idea that this is just perpetuating the idea, this rugged individualism, meritocracy, people in America who are rich got it by working hard and making smart decisions with their money. And that's all a lie. Even wealthy people who invest, they do, and I think there have been studies shown to prove this. People with a lot of money invest and they make more money by making higher risk investments, but they're rich, so they can afford to lose money. They don't miss it. And when they when an investment turns back in their favor, then they make up for their losses usually. But I mean, I also feel like just the juxtaposition of the dude who is playing craps, rolling the dice to make money for his business. How is that really different from hoping that the stock market is going to work out for you?
It's not.
No, but it's not. But the point, the point of
game.
that in the commercial is to emphasize that it's black ignorance and financial illiteracy that causes black poverty. And that's why the white man is actually saying to him, I'm glad we played it again. I mean, to refresh my memory, he's saying to him, if you just knew how to compound this and invest that, you do better. Invest in yourself, diversify, don't make these big bets, don't as if that's the reason for the failure and the inequality. That to me is the
as opposed to talking through, and obviously that commercial is not going to do it. But, white wealth was based on government handouts, like the person in the chat said, land giveaways, right? Resource giveaways, oil companies, right? Research and development money, direct handouts, healthcare systems make their money because colleges get money from the government, make discoveries, and they hand that shit back out to the private. The internet is a public resource that was given out to private companies. The wealth, middle-class whites, right? The GI Bill, public housing, welfare, all constructed to give them a leg up. People didn't make the roads, the bridges, all of that. All of that is coming from government coffers. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
so people may make some back dollars, obviously, once you done got some money, and there's always one individual capitalist you can point to. But even that, right? Where they get their money? From the labor they've exploited. The profits they make is from what they don't pay their workers. So there's nothing about this that's about these individual folks trying to big up themselves for how they made it and so forth. You got Elon Musk on there talking about giving us this capitalist rundown about how smart he is. Diamond mine or emerald mine, whatever the fuck it was. He lived in a system of South Africa apartheid, even if his family never had a mine. He lived in a system of exploitation of apartheid where he got to go to certain schools. He had help, right? Black help in the household. He lived in a system of inequality and inequity, and he's got the nerve to come out here and start bragging about how he made it on his own.
And then he stole from Tesla, stole from the PayPal folks. I mean, he's full of shit from top to bottom. And then, by the way, so I just pulled it up here. In 2013, the top 1% of households had 49.8% of all privately held stock, 54.7% of financial securities, and 62.8% of business equity. The top 10% had 84% to 94% of stocks, bonds, trust funds, and business equity, and almost 80% of non-home real estate. So what the hell are you supposed to invest in if you're not rolling the dice? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you might as well, that's what I'm saying. It's like you might as well join an organization, make it more radical, and get political power and say any money that gets made, we get a cut. That's my shortest solution, because I'm like, this other shit about invest and be smarter and is complete nonsense.
Is this the way to get you a little bit of like there's other folks who made money the straight old fashioned capitalist way, exploiting people to get their money, give your money over to them. You stay poor, they get rich. The snake oil salesman. That's all this is. This is in a tradition of that. How can I get the whatever little money that you do got? How do I get that up in my hands? And that, that's what these folks are selling. They're selling dreams, financial literacy. It's just comical.
Sister said that phrase to me too. Yeah, but I mean, it was.
Who is the stereotype of like?
It was. We met.
You don't got to tell their name.
No, I don't even remember their names, to be honest with you. I'm sitting there. I went there to work on the book. Like I needed to leave the house, try to get a different setting, all that. So I got my little corner and whatever. And then all of a sudden they started having this loud conversation from the bar, and I kept overhearing, "We got money, financial literacy, invest." And I took my headphones off, and I was like, started ear hustling. I couldn't help it. Dude said he saw me too. He did. He even said, "Come on, brother, I see you." He said, "Come on, have a seat." He was like, "Come on." And then sure enough, it was like one after another and I started laughing. I said, I said the odds that you would be having this conversation sitting next to the one person writing a critique of this. I was like, this is so crazy, but she's everything. So she was like, we just don't have financial literacy. And we don't, the dollar doesn't circulate like in other communities, and we don't support our own businesses. And that's
lies.
Because I was trying to ask her, I said, so where would we go right now to have a drink in a Black-owned bar? Where would we go right now? And she was like, I thought we were in one. And I was like, sister girl.
And this is why your talking points suck.
I was yeah.
It's just wild. Like when you deep how much wealth that regular white people have, what is the average household wealth for Black folks? It's like $1,000. Like most Black people have what, $500, $1,000 on hand compared to 10,000. Or is it 100,000 that most?
It's well over 100 for wealth. The household is like 130 for white, and like it depends on how you read, but like somewhere between 6,000 and 11,000 for Black people. And that's in terms of the total value of everything that they own.
Yeah, that's not like cash.
But nobody has $500. White people too. Like those studies that were saying nobody even has $500 in their account for an emergency.
But
if
it's
they
wild.
needed it.
Like
So
one of my
yeah.
good friends is white, and I would consider them a very regular white person. They come from a 2-parent household. Their parents were one of them worked for the government. The other one was a first responder, public servant, or whatever. Regular ass white folks, right? The amount of money that they can put their hands on compared to the amount of money my mom and I can put our hands on, it's 10 to 1 easily. And these are not wealthy people, but just because of the whiteness and the access of the resources that whiteness affords them, I mean, they got way more shit than us. I mean, and again, not wealthy white people, not born into wealth, but I see how they're able to accumulate because their child had their undergraduate paid for. They didn't have to take out any loans or anything. The parents paid for car insurance, paid for bills like the first 5 years out of school. And I'm like, this is how you're able to save $30 and $40 and $50,000 because you're not paying for anything. Like your parents are paying for everything. And that is a lot of white people's experience. I know so few black people who have
This is why they so mad now. This is why they so mad now. They're so because they feel the crumbling happening. The Great Recession, the last 40 or 50 years of deindustrialization. They're feeling that the taking away of healthcare. They're like, wait a minute, that's not reserved for us. That's supposed to happen to the other folks. You know what I mean? And again, it's not even like it's about white folks being rich, but like you said, well off enough to whereas they can go to aunt this one or mama that one or whatever that one, and they can get some racks and keep themselves going. A lot of that is disappearing. But who do they blame for that?
Obama.
That's why in 2018, and that's why in 2018, before the pandemic, the military was doing war games, and they explained the reason they were doing war games in preparation was because the Generation Z was going to be in rebellion when they realized there was nothing for them. That was literally the military's response. Like, don't redistribute the money they keep giving us, but use that money to prepare to suppress any, because these white kids are going to be upset. That's what they would like. These white kids have been promised everything. Their parents had everything, and they're not going to get the same thing, and it's going to be a problem.